unless you want to see the thing on it.
Yeah, I want to just see this here for a moment. So the whole device here is sensing and controllers, and it's basically a digital Digerati. That's from New Zealand or Australia?
We're from Montreal.
Montreal, but a Digerati is really from, where is the Digerati?
Australia.
Australia,
Yeah.
okay. And the whole idea is, on this plastic instrument, you've got these controllers, these kind of sensors, and more sensors down here.
And this one.
And these are multiple sensors which allow it to sense not only touch, but location, where you're touching it. And then it's driving into the software here on the laptop. Although this is not a real computer because it's a Macintosh, but the same software actually runs on a PC right over here.
Yeah.
And your name again?
Axel Mulder.
Axel Mulder?
Mulder, yes.
M-U-L-D-E-R?
That's right.
You ever watch X-Files?
I have. Yeah.
Okay, so there you go, Mulder from the X-Files. So your company is dealing with the sensors and the software, the controls?
Sensors. Well, we also provide the plugins, right? So there's a bit of an overlap.
Okay.
It's particularly the sensors, and then of course the software has its own suppliers, Cycling 74 and Ableton.
Is this? That's the
USB version of the same thing as this. This is the Bluetooth version.
So
here,
that's.
Right?
Are those two communicating together? Is that the deal?
They're both working at the same time right now, except that this one is a different application.
This one is directly controlling some other device.
Yeah,
okay.
that's this here. This is like a rotation sensor.
So this is rotation sensor.
You can stick that on this thing also, right?
Right.
And then you can have another visual effect while you're playing.
Right. Exactly.
You know, you can. This is just a very dumb visual effect, but you can.
Right. But the whole idea is that sensor is controlling that cube and rotating the cube around.
Yeah. You can make your own artistry, visual artistry that corresponds to the sensor data as well, while you're playing music.
Exactly.
That's why it's an audio-visual instrument design tool set. These three.
Again, these are all the different kinds of sensors that they have to use. For instance, this sensor right here is sensing motion of somebody moving by. This longer sensor here was just shown on that Digerati, and this will sense location. So it knows when you're towards one end or the other end. And I'm not sure what the big rectangle is. What is the, what's the big rectangle for?
That you can actually stack two on top of each other. It's a one-dimensional touch sensor.
Okay.
So it detects where you touch along this axis.
Right.
Anywhere here. Huh?
Gotcha.
And if you put two, then you can actually make an XY pad about it.
Ah, okay. Very interesting.
Yeah.
This is live performance capture. Phase space. So there's the girl with the rig on her, outfitted with the LEDs. This is this kind of robot character. All 3D interactively moving as she's So it's these two right here that is capturing basically the 3D data?
These two.
Oh.
That one's a color one.
So it's this one here, and this one is the 3D data, and that's just going to get you color.
Right.
So it can, in theory, right, it's not being used, but you have a version of the program that will actually create a 3D solid, or is it still going to be 3D dots?
No, we can actually create a mesh with texture.
And interactively.
Yeah. Right. The thing about it, though, is that we're currently having some issues with the color projection. Actually, what happens is that's a color camera, non-color camera, and so that thing is being projected onto that one there with the right depth as well.
Right, right.
The problem, though, is that for some reason,
things to line up, there's an issue.
The calibration seems to have some issue with the color camera at the moment, so we're hoping that today after the show we'll get that solved, and normally tomorrow we'll have the texture as well. Hopefully, I can't promise.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's just two cameras.
So it's still somewhat of a work in action, but this looks really interesting.
Yes, yes. So you see,
The whole point would be to control real-time characters is really what this is all about.
Motion capture, modulus, yes. You seemed interested in the animation part. Is that?
Well, I work with 3D Studio Max. I used to teach courses in 3D Studio Max, so therefore that's sort of my interest in the whole realm.
Okay.
But I've also
images that directly relates to it. So we put those lines on there so that we know that this part on our cheek.
There she is again, interactively.
That same part on our cheek in image number 2.
Doing this kind of
We need to
fighting,
figure out, distance between
boxing motion
but
with the
just
character.
put something on her face that makes it unique and identifiable. The two cameras.
That she is controlling the character up on the screen in real time.
It doesn't have to be stripes. Really, can be any kind of